Before the stages, the tours, and the anthems of unity, there was Tobago, where Caleb Hart grew up navigating poverty, violence, and the constant pull of gang life. In a world where choices could define your future in a single moment, music became both refuge and resistance. His journey from those streets to a new beginning in Canada isn't just a story of relocation, it's a story of reinvention, resilience, and the courage to believe in something bigger than circumstance. In this episode, we explore the chapters that shaped him, the struggles, the survival, and the sound that emerged from it all. Sometimes the very thing that kind of almost destroys you, it becomes the thing that defines you. So before you were known for your music, who were you?
Jaja. Before I was known for my music, who was I? I'd like to think I was still me, but misunderstood. The misunderstood version, the not as accepted, I didn't sound as good version. A lot of things. I was a footballer, like soccer player, gangster. I still think I was funny and making jokes and stuff, but the 0 to 100 from funny to serious would happen way quicker.
Yeah.
And but I think at the end of the day, I was still who I now am. Just now, I'm allowed, so to speak, to be that, and I figured it out, and still am figuring it out.
Yeah.
But it's like a little more acceptable to just be yourself, no matter the, pros, cons, whatever, like still me, and figuring out, the rest of it.
That's awesome. And did you grew up in Tobago, right?
Tobago, yeah.
Tobago, right? And when did you come to Canada?
2009. I was almost 19.
Okay. Okay. So you
Finished high school.
There.
Yeah, finished high school, worked for a year and a half or so, and then my parents sent me to Canada by myself.
And what was it like there growing up there?
In Tobago?
Yeah.
Yeah, the dichotomy is real, being from the Caribbean, and I think a lot of Caribbean people would agree with this. Not everybody, because it depends on how, individualistically your life was, right? There's rich people, poor people, right? I think a lot of people can relate to the reality that we are some of the most peaceful, beautiful, fun-loving people, and also the dreadest people as well, So it was a dichotomy kind of at all times, You grow up poor, or you grow up, rootsy in the Caribbean, and it's nice because, you get to, pick fruits and go to the beach and hunt and all these things that, boy days are real and all these things. But then at the same time, one wrong thing and life could change pretty quickly as well, negatively, you know what I mean? So how was it on a whole? I wouldn't change it for anything. Would I change some of the things that happened to me? Probably. But at the same time, when I think about that, not really, because I'm proud of where I've ended up. So how much of what has happened is inevitable to the growth period that then gets you to where you're at. Would I have worked as hard if I had everything? Probably not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, but all around though, I'm very grateful for my upbringing and being from the Caribbean, especially from a small island. I think it's kind of extra special.
Yeah, that is cool.
And rare,
I can relate a little bit to you on some of those notes because I was born and raised here, lived in Lebanon for 3 years when I was 3 without my parents as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then I moved there and lived there for 12 years at 19.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was the opposite, going from a first world country to a third world country.
Okay.
And I did go through some of the, the poverty, and I did see some of the violence, and Lebanon's not a very stable country. But yeah, I learned how to make cheese and bread, and you know what I mean?
And then the camaraderie and the community aspect, even though, the instability exists, there's that grassroots humanity that still exists that I find lacking personally in Canada, or for the most part, not everywhere, of course, but it's a little different. You know, you have the safety and the this and the that, and those are good things, and I'm grateful for them. But then at the same time, I don't know my neighbor's name.
There is a sense of loneliness. Yeah, there is for sure. I mean, I always say, like, if you could just bring peace to that country, like, I would never leave there.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, for sure. You briefly kind of touched on, you know, if one thing can go wrong, then many things can go wrong, especially in that kind of environment. What were some of your experiences?
Man, like, you want a story?
Let's go for it.
I remember one time I came out the club, like, you know, we were out partying, whatever, and I was with my boys, and I came out the club, and from, like, you know, it's time for food, like 4 o'clock in the morning, kind of time for food, and then decide, are you gonna keep going or are you going home, kind of vibes. So I reach out the club, all in our good vibes, you know, not really on no fighting thing, whatever.
Yeah.
Reach out the club, and from across the street, I was just looking for some, like, doubles or fried chicken or something, some food, and from across the street, I saw this guy watch me. He had a big crew, like 20 men. I had like four of my boys with me. No badness. We were just at the club, you know? And I don't know what it was, but I could tell once I look across and we made eye contact, I knew he didn't like me for some reason.
Yeah.
And very few people know this story, but here we are. Pop up. So I ran across the street and drop kicked him. Because at that point, you have to make the first move, because you're going to get beat if you wait. Like if they ambush you or something like that. So I made a decision, pretty brash and based off of instinct and intuition and eye contact. It was something about it. The way he watched me, I was like, I think this guy's going to kill me tonight. Like, again, it's speculation, so you don't know. So I don't want to sound extreme, but that's how it felt. So I didn't tell my boys nothing. Next thing you know, I was just drop kicked him. And nobody intervened, which is pretty rare. But we fought, you know. But for him, meaning I'm telling this story because out of all the stories, you know, I could have choose, because think of his, let's say I was wrong. What was his? What just happened? What just happened, bro? This man's on top of me, hitting me some cuff in my face or whatever happened. He's on the ground all of a sudden. What if he just was daydreaming and watched me weird? Yeah. So that's me being guilty of that reality where from 0 to 100. We was just on our good vibes. I was looking for food. Next thing you know, made that decision. Now, I was not that guy, usually. Most of the time, even in my badness, somebody attack me first and then I defend myself or whatever. But that particular story, you know, just to share the reality of, or one of the realities of the culture is like, you had to watch your back. You had to kind of just be on your P's and Q's, always checking your six. Yeah. And that
actually leads into my next question, because I personally feel people aren't born, like you're born a clean slate, and it's your environment that shapes you.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't sound like you had a sense of safety growing up. Like you said, you always felt like you had to like watch your back and protect yourself. And then of course you come here, it's completely different. Like I can kind of understand the vulnerability in the moment. Yeah. Like maybe in that time you thought like, I'm not that person, or why did I do that, or I regret it or whatever. But I do think like environments do shape people.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's interesting to be living, you know, the life I live now and have for quite a while, and spreading love and, you know, proper conscious message through music and all these things, and having that background. But the truth of the matter is I actually don't regret any of it. I don't apologize for those circumstances. It's not that I don't take accountability. I take full accountability. But at the same time, what is a 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old youth supposed to do in the circumstance that they've always known? We are, you know, like, so I have a lot more empathy for a lot of it because of that, though. So it's cool at the same time.
And then having lived those experiences, I'm sure that drew a lot into your music and into your art.
For sure.
Yeah.
And still does.
And still does, for sure. And then you touched kind of, you kind of chuckled and you joked about it, but you said a gangster.
Well, I laugh because I wasn't no, you know, drug smuggling, gun toting gangster that you see on mafia movies or, kind of thing. But I was in a gang and we were definitely doing badness. Mm-hmm. That is the definition of a gangster, if you catch what I'm saying. So I'm not trying to make myself seem like I was a gangster that was, again, I wasn't killing people, thankfully. Mm-hmm. But if I had stayed there and kept in that life, I would have probably killed or be dead or both, you know what I mean? That's real. I was on that path for sure. Yeah. So I chuckle because even some of my best friends, like let's say the last decade, they've been my friend. And, we go back, like I take them home, and they hear like a 1-2 story and they're like, Caleb, Hart, what? What? I remember my friend Andrea, my daughter's godmother, and her first time in Tobago, and she was hearing my dad tell a story. And you should just saw her face just like in the confusion, like, who is that? Yeah. No, she thought he was messing with her just for fun.
Yeah.
And then he was like, anyway, that was back in the day, And she's like, hold up. He was talking about you this whole time? I was like, yeah, I never told you about that part of my life. Like, that season. And she's like, what? Again, because, the reformed version of me is what can be seen as the opposite. The truth is it's not. I'm a gangster still. Just the gangster that's not trying to beat people up. I'm trying to lift people up. Yeah. I'm still as passionate. I'm still as serious. Like, I'm a very serious person. Do I laugh and do I make jokes? Sure, but I'm very serious. I'm very professional. All the things that now can be seen as the reason I'm professional, the reason that I'm passionate. If you see me on stage, you'll be like, whoa, what a presence. That's how my, gang leader felt when he recruited me. What a presence.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And I think that the misunderstood version of me didn't know the outlet, which outlet to use. And ain't nobody taking you serious if you say you want to do music.
Wow. That's actually really powerful, honestly. You have these skills and you have these abilities and you have these talents, and on one side, someone's kind of feeding off your vulnerabilities to use them for one thing, and then you come here and you use them for something completely different. It's incredible how, like you said, you were towing that fine line. When was the moment that you realized, like, I think this is going to end badly? Like, the moment?
Well, I didn't think anything. My parents shipped me away.
Okay.
My parents called me. I was finished work at like midnight and I went out for a drink, and my mom called me and was like, you need to get home. Your flight to Canada is booked. You leave in 29 hours.
How did you feel about that?
Horrible.
Okay.
I was vexed. When I say vexed, irate, serious. I couldn't believe it. I had a girlfriend of 2 years. I had a job. Well, I was good. Like, was life mediocre? Yes, but it didn't seem so to me. I was good.
Yeah.
And it was everything I knew, right? And then boom, all of a sudden I felt betrayed, I think, if anything. But at the same time, now, in retrospect, I'm like, wow, thank you.
They saved your life.
Saved my life.
Yeah,
3 weeks
amazing.
after I landed in Canada, 2 of my friends got murdered.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like 3 weeks.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's life.
It was a wake-up call.
And then boom, 2 days later, another one did in an accident. 2 days after that, one killed himself.
Oh,
next thing I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And I mean, the next year or two that led was horrible, when I tell you horrible. But again, in retrospect, and as they died and stuff, I thought to myself, wait, boy, if I'm alive, I owe it to them.
Yeah.
To do something with my life that, like, so their death's not in vain, because they didn't get the opportunity I got. So then boom, I'm checking my privilege and I go, yo, I got to go somewhere else and I got to do this music thing and I got to, so then capitalizing, so to speak, on that,
Yeah, you got a blank slate and a first start. Is there a guilt attached to that sometimes? Survivor's guilt, kind of?
Initially, for sure, years.
Yeah.
For years. And still, I would say there's still remnants where, a little thing will catch me off guard, or I'll lose another friend or a family member and a little tear will fill my eye, like, what am I still doing here then?
Yeah.
But then also, thankfully, the balance of doing everything I've done, which most people who will even watch this don't know who I am and don't really know what I've done. In my Instagram bio, I call myself the most successful artists you've never heard of.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, because but and even in that, I'm trying to redefine, not single-handedly, but just for the people that watch, redefine the idea of success. Even what is success, brother? I'm never gonna own a million dollar mansion, and I'm still wildly successful.
I agree. I have that belief too, where it's like, I personally think that your wealth is kind of given, not given, it's like written. Like, I can fight tooth and nail to try to get to become a billionaire, and I may never do that. Maybe it wasn't written for me, but it was written for, I don't know, some billionaire, like whoever we can mention, we could talk about. There are many of them out there, and they're not happy, and they think they've accomplished something, but they haven't. And then to go from that poverty and to go from the pain and all that, and to just have your like basic needs met and your safety, that's
Incredible.
Priceless.
Every single day.
Yeah.
Every single day, I count my blessings and give thanks for real. And I believe pretty firmly, regardless of faith, religion, whatever people's beliefs are, that gratitude specifically is one of the most, if not the most, integral practices for us to have as human beings.
Absolutely. Yeah. I agree 100%. Yeah. We take it for granted. Yeah.
Incessantly.
We do. When you left and you got here, I'm sure you probably have felt a little bit of loneliness. I'm sure you've mentioned.
Definitely.
You've mentioned that.
The amount of confusion culturally and temperaturally.
Oh, I bet. Oh, yeah, temperaturely. Don't even get me started. Yeah. When did you start feeling like this was home?
2045.
I was just going to say, or do you feel like?
I don't.
Yeah.
There were moments, there were, weeks, months, scenarios, people. Sure.
Yeah.
Big love to, like, my Grand Prairie community. People always make fun of me for repping GP, but man, that they took me in, and I was just hustling, just trying to make money to make music, you know, to launch my career, and they loved it. They were like, yeah, we want you to do this too.
That's awesome.
And so that support felt like home. But I just picked up some food with Sky Star, went to a Jamaican restaurant,
Oh, yay.
And just being in there, walked in, hearing the music, right? And then the little conversation with the cashier.
Yeah.
The littlest, smallest thing.
I know.
And it was like, whoa, I miss this so much, like every day. But without realizing you really miss it every day. Yeah. But, again, here, if somebody was just kind of watching us and listening and understood everything, they probably would be like, what is going on right now?
Yeah.
Because we flirted, we joked, we talked about all kind of thing, and then we said, all right, have a good night, blessed, later. And we may never see that person again.
I know,
and it's
right?
not that important, meaning, but the interaction was light, it was humorous, it was beautiful, and then it ended.
And you started touring schools and going in and speaking to people, or students, I guess. And I have a question. Were you healing yourself, or were you healing other people?
Yeah, and I never really separate the two.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't think they're different. I don't think not that I'm a therapist, but using them as a reference point, I don't think therapists just have it figured out and therefore help us. Mm-hmm. I think therapists see the value in therapy so much because they need it.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah. Again, not necessarily solely. I don't separate it, so I can't consciously answer that question as linearly as you'd probably prefer. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, yes. Were you healing you or them? Yes.
Both.
Yeah, because I didn't even really think about it. I was just so grateful for the opportunity most of the time. Yeah. Even now, I'm like, whoa. I'm like 1,200 and something shows and have spoken to,
That's amazing.
Tens of thousands of students and perform for probably millions of people at this point. And I'm still, every time I get a booking, I'm like, yes. Or if, I play a cafe for 40 people, I'm like, thank you so much for coming. Wow, what a blessing.
Yeah.
I'm just so grateful. And that's not an act. Like, I can't fake that. I am so grateful.
No,
For real.
I think you are being very genuine.
Yeah, I really am. Like, people, because especially when it's funny, because when people find out or they have been watching me for a long time and know how much I've done,
Yeah.
I think they think I'm joking. You know, when I say like, oh, yo, bro, thank you so much for having me. And they're like, oh, yeah, as soon as the cameras are off, then the real Caleb will come on. I'm like, you know why I rebranded when I went solo in 2015 as Caleb Hart? Because that's all I want to be.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be me.
Yeah.
And if somebody wants to also listen to me or watch me or pay to come to a show or hire me for a feature or whatever the thing may be, thank you so much.
Yeah,
And I will bring that, that passion, that authenticity, and yeah,
I love that. That's awesome.
it's vital.
So then, of course, like you said, you've seen and talked to many people. What's a story from a fan or a student that kind of hit you or that really changed you? Or maybe you saw yourself in them or...
Oh, Lord, how do you choose? How do you choose? I mean, listen, I have had the honor of having people come up to me and say that they were going to kill themselves and my music, randomly came on. And they didn't ask the stereo or the whatever they're using to play. But all of a sudden, a random song of mine came out the ethers. And like I have stories, we could sit here for 10 hours straight and I can't tell you all of them. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's one of them things where there's so many of them, which is so humbling and unbelievable to me. But also, as much as that's true, and I don't want to be here pretending that humility is the only thing I have. I'm proud of it as well, because I know that I intentionally want to heal.
Yeah.
I intentionally want to bring love and freedom and joy. So when I hear that it worked, as honoring and humbling as it is, at the same time, it's not shocking.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
You put in the work.
I have beyond.
Yeah.
So when I hear, listen, it's like a harvest, right? It's like farming.
Yeah.
So if I plant the seed and I don't just walk away, but I plant the seed after tilling the soil properly and I check the pH and I make sure that the water and the sunshine and the da-da-da-da and I trim the weeds and blah, 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 blah. I'm going to eat some nice food. I'm going to harvest some nice harvest.
Yeah.
Depending on what I'm making, right?
You reap what you sow.
Precisely.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's nice to watch that happen. So I don't really have an individual story for you because, again, like we could talk about this for really long.
That's a good answer, though. That's awesome. To not have one story, to have many, that's amazing.
Thousands.
Yeah, that's
if I'm
awesome.
being really honest, like
that's
hundreds
amazing.
to thousands of individual stories of the most. Yeah, so in such a wide spectrum is what I'm trying to say as well.
Yeah,
so it's really cool.
From all kinds of walks of life. That's awesome. Yeah.
Granny,
Oh.
80-something years old, walk up to me and say, I don't know what, in Australia, I don't know what you even call this, but I like it a lot. It's my first time hearing it. I love it. Sat back down. It's like 10 p.m. Granny, I'm like, Granny, you're not going home? She's like, I missed this? Never. The next day, she passed away.
Oh, my gosh.
The bar owner called me.
Oh, my gosh.
He's like, you're not going to believe this. Oh. And he said, before she left, before she left the bar $100 tip just for the music. She was just like, she didn't drink nothing. She just drank water and sat there and listened to the music and then tipped the bar, to make sure the servers and stuff were thing, and tipped them $100 and said to the guy, I've never heard anything like this in my whole life. And
that's
the next
incredible.
day she passed away. And I wouldn't have known any of this, well, other than her telling me, but I'm talking about the rest of it. If the bar owner didn't feel comfortable enough to then call me and say, because in some realms I'm kind of a big shot, right? So some people don't feel as comfortable reaching out, but thankfully, hopefully always people know that they can. They're not always going to get on to me, but they can reach out, and I'm not going to reject the call because it's the bar owner from last night, whereas I'm focused on tonight. I wouldn't have heard that story. But just to give you, generational, some old Australian woman.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
That's adorable.
It was
And
amazing.
two people that don't lie, or two types of people that don't lie, are children and the seniors.
Yes, true.
So
They've
you know
been
that
there,
was
done
real.
that.
You do a lot of like upbeat, positive music. Do you sometimes feel a pressure to be the positive one all the time?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I've been healing from and understanding, you know, like balancing the people pleaser side of me and then the real Caleb, etc. And it was a hard transition. I think people were kind of confused, you know, like, what's going on with Caleb? But at the same time, I needed to do it. I needed to actually step into that realm. So that's why I said they're not always going to get onto me, because now I'm not as available, just always, you know. But, you know, it's funny because even through that, I still think I'm so positive, and people, my friends and stuff, are like, bro, I don't know how you, like, you know, no matter what life's throwing your way. I'm like, bro, because life's been throwing it my way. So then you get, and again, this is not like me encouraging people to suffer. But really though, you know, in the same way, going back to like Lebanon, for example, like some of the best humans I've ever met are Lebanese.
Thank you.
And I know, I could see it in their eyes, the pain they've been through, and yet they'll give you the shirt off their back and the last piece of bread and last sip of tea.
Yeah.
And they'll make sure you have a bed, you know, to sleep on. You can't teach that.
No.
That's not school. That's not privilege or money. That is just horrible life. But taking that and going, I will not let the circumstances of my life define who I am.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that being said, when it comes to me, I am definitely Mr. Positive, etc. But I'm also very real. So if you listen to my music, you will hear the arc of reality for not just me, but humanity and thing. And then it will end up in hope. And that's what all I'm trying to bring.
Yeah.
Because if we have nothing else, we have hope. And these days, when it's feeling hopeless, it's still... So what? Okay, you have a decision to make then. Do you just give up?
Yeah.
Or do you continue living thinking about it being hopeless? Okay, if that's the case, you might as well give up.
Absolutely.
Just being frank,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Instead, try to affect the people on your left and your right. Don't try this grandeur virality that TikTok and Instagram tries to tell us.
Yeah.
You are 1 subscriber, 2 subscriber, 3 subscriber, 5, whatever it may be, and that person's watching your podcast, or, you know, listening to your songs or whatever it may be, and going, yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
Yo, you did it.
And that's what I love about your music is it's hopeful, but it's not rose-colored glasses and sunshine and rainbows. Like,
Correct.
I will give you hope, but I also know the pain, and there's a reality that we need to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's what I took from your music.
Oh, that's
why I
amazing.
Yeah, I love it a lot. Like
I appreciate that.
In fact, the song "Uniting" sounds hopeful, but hope usually comes from something else.
Sure, yeah.
You don't get hope unless you've kind of hit rock bottom, as we mentioned, right?
Yeah, the hopelessness. Yeah.
What broke before this song came out?
You know, actually, this song actually has like a really crazy backstory that I've never done with anything else. Uniting is actually an old Tasman Jude song. So my former band, it was called Rejoicing.
Okay.
We wrote it in 2013.
Okay.
And released it on our debut EP. So this is 13 years and 7 albums ago, right? And I was talking with Transwap over royalties and blah, 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 distribution, this, that, the other. And I was listening to some songs I haven't performed in, a decade.
Yeah.
And that one just made me bawl.
Yeah.
Because of the state of the world, and it just made me bawl. I was just sitting on my little, home studio school setup, and I just started crying. And I was like, the world needs to hear this song again, but better than when 2013 in a basement studio.
A more polished version.
Yeah, exactly. So reached out to a friend of mine who does some production, and two of us just rehashed the whole thing, and then I mixed it myself.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and then released it. It's ironic though, because I think less people have heard it than the original Tasman Jude version, because of the freaking algorithms on the socials and all that stuff, blocking music and blocking real music and pushing the AI and stuff.
Yeah.
However, again, when I say the world, I don't mean 8 billion people. I mean whoever gets to click play, and whoever it meant to reach, it will reach.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
We're living in a time where division feels louder than ever, politically, racially, culturally, spiritually. And in the middle of that, we have the song, right? And even like if you were watching the news yesterday and today, you know, things are always happening. What does unity mean to you?
I want to see my people living in love. I hate to see them fighting and swimming in blood. Why can't we all just get along? All of us come together and sing one song. You know?
Oh, that's beautiful.
I say it in it. I really do. I don't think it needs to be... Unity doesn't mean constant agreement.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And again, the butterfly unicorn version of positive music does that, right? And it's become, ironically, disunifying, because then people are like, yeah, no, that's unrealistic. But
it's numbing.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's like, or they hear reggae, even if it's a song like Uniting, and they're like, oh my God, I felt like I was on a hammock at the beach. And I'm like, did you listen to the song?
Sir?
Or does reggae make you feel like that? All right, fair enough. Reggae makes you feel like being on a hammock at the beach. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But as I say in Peace of Mind, which is a feature I did with Stanley, a Edmonton-based artist, recently, I say... Oh, anyway, I want people to listen to it, but I say something along the lines at the end of the verse. I say, and even though we come to bring the healing, sometimes we need a little bit of it for we, right? Because I'm talking about that concept of just chilling on the beach, enjoying the music, and everything's la, 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 la. And that's what Instagram and stuff, and, you know, the content creators are showing you this polished version. We have filters, we have all these things, right? And the truth is that they all right, like, you still have to shower. You still have to shower no matter how clean you look. Still have to shower.
Yeah.
Deodorant is still important.
Yeah.
Though, you know, you finish shower, you still follow it up with deodorant, because you don't want the shower niceness to just disappear.
Yeah.
Well, we have this this view of just freshly showered. Everything is freshly showered.
From
right
the outside.
now.
From
That's
the
all it
outside,
is.
not from the inside.
But they may even see the color of the water that was touching the thing, or the fact that the person bathed with no soap. And I could analogize and metaphorize and, you know, all kind of thing. But so I want people to know that you're not alone in whatever the thing may be. And I think that is what will bring more unity than anything. So when I say Black Lives Matter, it doesn't make a white person feel like they need to say something in
Different.
response.
Yeah.
Where a white person, and again, just using this as an example, could be like, yep. And that's the end of the conversation. Like, yes, true. It not everything needs a reaction and a response or a podcast topic.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes you just need to go for real.
Yeah, yeah.
And just
get into the real.
Sing that song together and call that George, as we say back home. Call that George, you know? Because otherwise, there's always going to be that, well, yeah, but I don't mean to play devil's advocate. Always comments on, oh, well, don't mean to be devil's advocate. Well, you are being devil's advocate. And you're literally proud of it. Devil's advocate. And you're boasting about it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You're literally like, you know, you're saying...
Social media is bizarre. It's its own world.
And also, I think that, honestly, I do think that a lot of it isn't real. And I mean that genuinely, not like some conspiracy. I actually believe that there's like algorithm-triggered bot profiles that are just commenting some random hatred. I've gotten lots of it on my YouTubes and, you know, and stuff. I'm just like, brother... Who gives a crap?
It's
Someone
not
on my
that deep.
TikTok, I have a viral, like a video going like, you know, mini viral right now of me riding the WYFL rhythm. And on TikTok, it's going off like tens of thousands of views, blah 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 blah. And I black and whited it, and I have gold headphones, and I had this gold necklace on. So I black and whited it, and then contrasted the gold in the video editing.
Yeah.
Well, I have a little yellow teeth. Like my teeth aren't perfectly white. One of the comments, anyone else see the yellow teeth? And got a bunch of likes. So I responded, yeah man, yellow and proud, long time.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But again, I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, that's wild.
So, but yeah, imagine you watch that whole video and listen to all my lyrics and
that's what you got out of it?
That's what you got out of it.
Really? Come on. Yeah, that's ridiculous. And I think when you were saying I don't think social media is real, it's because I think it like distracts from, like, you've got the polished version. You've got like these people, like I know personally people that are always trying to follow the trends and always trying to be perfect and always trying to like polish everything and make sure everything's like that. They show that their lives are great and they're not. And we all know this. All of us that are posting, if you are posting on social media, then you know that this isn't real.
Yeah.
So you're still consuming it. Like
Yeah.
it's just this like bad cycle.
Allow yourself to get bored. Allow yourself to get bored.
Exactly.
Allow yourself to be creative.
Yeah.
Like I said, when Wi-Fi stop working, don't try to fix it.
Yeah.
Pull out some candles if the lights turn off. Play some cards with your family, friend. Solitaire by yourself. We need more of that. We need more of that. We need less doom scrolling and more. Because honestly, even from a creative standpoint, that's where the creativity really is gonna thrive, right?
Yeah.
We didn't have revolutions from nothingness. The revolutions came from something. So in that same way, we need that now more than ever.
Yeah.
Because again, like we were saying, humanity is the same, but we've never been so bombarded by the information.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So when you look at the current state of the world, what concerns you the most?
Probably exactly what we're talking about. Especially if I, make it for the world. Individually as a, full-time musician, it's crazy that 50,000 AI songs are getting uploaded to streaming platforms per day, and people like Spotify aren't doing anything about it, or actually they're pushing it and funding it as well. So I think individually that's kind of concerning, but at the same time it's not, because ain't no AI gonna show up at a cafe and play for 40 people and rock their souls.
Absolutely.
So I'm okay.
There's nothing like the human connection.
We'll be okay, and I think we're seeing kind of a slight shift right now happening, where we're seeing people get so fed up of being online that they're actually not.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And it's cool. But so what am I most concerned about? I don't think I am.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think just if we, like I said, watch your person on your left and your right, and make sure that the people closest to you and the community you're closest to is taken care of and good, and have real conversations with real humans and stuff.
Yeah.
Then we'll be okay. And if we're not, that's okay. Then we brought this upon ourselves at the same time.
True.
Nature will. Oh yeah. Mother Earth will reconvene, and if we AI ourselves into extinction, that's life.
Well.
Then guess what? The trees will finally have a chance to grow back properly, and
Aww.
the oxygen will revitalize itself, and then hopefully we never show back up again, and the good species stick around, and
what was wrong with dinosaurs?
you know what I mean? Like the good species stick around, and then the koalas keep eating their thing and just
Give
chilling.
someone else a chance.
Sloths, become the main mammal on Earth or whatever.
That's
Then
funny.
I'm not too concerned.
Yeah.
I've never been concerned about them kind of thing there. It is concerning. I'm not saying it's not, for sure. But at the same time, if we keep it real, we keep it human. If anything, I like that people are beginning to question every single thing. What is this AI?
Yeah.
I like that, because then I'm like, yeah, see? You don't know. You know what you do know? Here I am. With my, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm
you know,
not.
you can
I'm not AI.
Yeah. Look, here I am physically here, singing for you, talking for you, teaching you, whatever the thing, you know, the craft, whatever. Actual coffee, not just a coffee machine or whatever. Them little things, you know?
Yeah.
So
That's
I think
awesome.
we'll forward to the roots.
Looking forward to that. Have you ever lost support, relationships, or opportunities for something that you stood for?
Incessantly.
Oh, give us one example.
Oh, Lord. I mean, I got blacklisted in 2015 or 16, 15. A big email went out because I told this like higher up, it was in the Christian music industry, and I wasn't really in that, but I was kind of, you know. And I told this pastor that he shouldn't be speaking in tongues without interpretation, which is a very specific thing that most viewers won't really understand unless you're in the Christian realm or something. But I said, hey man, the scripture says you shouldn't be speaking in tongues without interpretation, and you're just babbling away in some supposed foreign tongue. So he fired me. Fired me and sent an email to 10,000 leaders across the world.
Really?
Yeah, and blacklisted my name and said that I was a heathen and something, which no problem, I am.
What was the message you were trying to send that he didn't understand?
Nah, he understood.
He understood.
He just didn't like the fact that I actually was holding him accountable.
Yeah.
I guess that's what it is, you know. So that's one pretty extreme story. But I mean, I got hacked like last year, lost like 10,000 followers or 7,000 or something. I was about to hit like 30,000 on Instagram, and then a personal hack, like not a bot hack, not like some AI bot or crypto bot or whatever. No, it was like death threats and like death to Caleb Hart, and Caleb Hart will fail, and like posting like devilly pictures.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. People need a hobby.
Yeah, they need something, but
yeah.
So that affected a lot. I think during that time, like the Instagram algorithm really was confused as to what was going on. They didn't help me at all. The app deleted off my phone in front of my face, like real eerie, weird stuff.
So someone might have tapped like your phone.
Something really creepy. And then so that's the thing. And then on a personal level, I've had bandmates, you know, and stuff like that, like instead of coming and talking to me about something, they just let the resentment, you know, which sometimes I was guilty, you know, again, but I don't know until I know, right? Whether I'm acting a certain way, talking a certain way. So I'm pretty big on like just communication and honesty, you know, be real, but try to be kind first. Yeah. If the person don't listen, then be a little less kind. And
stand for what you believe in. Yeah.
But talk to the person. What they did was more like, let it fester, let it fester, let it fester. And then one day just was like, yeah, so we're not going to be part of the band anymore. I was like, wait, what?
How long have you been feeling this way?
Yeah. And even when I asked that, they were like, oh, we don't need to talk about it. And then when we finally had like a mature meeting after and stuff, months later, 80-90% of it was complete misunderstandings or lies. Yeah. Which I could have predicted, but can't predict what you don't actually know.
I can't read your mind.
So
yeah,
so plenty time.
Oh wow. Do your songs respond to wounds that still feel open?
Moods that still feel open?
Wounds.
Oh, wounds.
Yes.
That makes more sense. Yeah, for sure. We all on this journey in this crazy world. This is my first time that I know of.
Yeah.
That I'm conscious of. So yeah, for sure, I think so. Mm-hmm. It's like I said earlier about, you know, healing me or them. Yes, you know, for sure. The wounds, the same healing I'm trying to bring is always gonna be self-reflective as well. Mm-hmm. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you called your album Emancipation, what exactly were you freeing yourself from?
The same things I sing about. Liberation. I said, you know, so many words I can use. Manumission, full redemption, but still we have to choose. Do we want freedom from the plantation? Fight the oppression, can't lose. So that's me trying to convince myself and you. Like, yo, do we actually want freedom from the oppression? Or if that's the case, of course you don't say that, right?
Yeah.
But if that's the case, then you have to fight the oppression and then convince yourself that no matter what, you cannot lose this fight. Because if you fight with the presupposed idea that you're gonna lose, you probably will.
Yeah.
So you had to fight oppression, can't lose. When the revelation of the fact that I can't lose. No, it's not a fact, but for me, it's gonna be a fact, right?
Yeah.
The revelation come with persuasion, so don't get it confused. Meaning, don't allow the fugue state to start to buckle in your mind, because then you'll lose again. So if you have 3 decisions: lose, possible, or win. You have to choose winning, because possible will also make you lose.
Absolutely.
So just trying to convince myself, and then by extension whoever listens.
Love that.
Of that.
That's awesome. And then there's also something kind of cultural in this album. As a Caribbean Canadian artist, did emancipation feel bigger than just your personal story? Is it?
For sure.
Yeah.
It's like the not that I have the authority to speak for every Caribbean immigrant or whoever, but I think that every Caribbean person that does listen to this record, and actually by extension not just Caribbean people, will hear a slice of their story in it as well, because it's like the journey, the journey from to.
I love that. That's beautiful. Do you think the album breaks any cycles for you? Or I guess I could say, are you trying to use it to break cycles?
Well, always.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah, I even it's funny because I think the reason, like, even though it won awards and stuff, I didn't get a Juno nomination, and a lot of people were surprised by that.
Yeah.
Because it's like Emancipation was kind of like one of the main records in the Caribbean Canadian community in the last 2 years, and so people were like, message me like, man, bro, what the heck? They huff you. They didn't give it, and I'm just like, but it's not a reggae album. It's a Caribbean music album for sure. Yeah. But a 1.5 reggae songs on the record, then another, two calypso and a this, that, and a fusion this and a. So I don't feel weird that the reggae industry didn't capture it as much, because it's not a reggae album. Is there a dope reggae song on it? Yeah. Is there a cool fusion of reggae on it? Sure. But so anyway, that's not really the question, but just to give you some insight into it. So I think that at all times, taking the fact that the Caribbean isn't just reggae, isn't just calypso, isn't just zouk, or there's so many genres, but we get known because of popularity of Bob Marley or whoever, throughout the Caribbean. You find out, and then of course Jamaica being the place that reggae is from. Then I'm from Tobago, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, and then people are like, oh, you're doing reggae, how dare you?
The stereotypes, you have to break past them.
But the irony is, it's never a Jamaican. Never a Jamaican offended at the fact that I'm doing reggae. You know what I mean?
They put you in that box and they want you to stay there.
Yeah. I'm boxless.
I like that.
Emancipation.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. It's coming back full circle.
Of the genre and or genres.
Love that. How about we do some rapid fire questions?
Sounds good.
All right. What's something people assume about you that isn't true?
Well, something people assume about me that isn't true?
Yeah.
Oh my Lord, how am I supposed to know? They're the ones assuming it.
Have you ever heard things from
people? Oh yeah. That I'm promiscuous.
Okay.
For sure. It happens almost daily. Where I'm like, where'd you hear that? And they're like, well, no, I didn't hear someone say that. I just kind of, you're a singer and and like, and I'm just like, we've never even spoken. What do you mean? How did you get there? You know what I mean? So,
my gosh. Who knows you the best?
I would assume my best friend, Joshua Telfa, who's also my videographer, photographer, and godfather of my daughter, and lives with me.
Okay.
So we've been best friends for 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah, since high school in Tobago. So probably, I would assume him. I would hope so.
You're like, I hope it's the same for him.
No, I would hope so, just based off of investment and time.
For sure. And who supported you before the music took off?
Him.
There you go. Shout out to Joshua.
Yeah, I mean, people from my community and stuff, I never really got told, no, you can't. So that's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
I love that. What is something that you had to unlearn?
Jaja. Life is not as black and white as most of us are raised thinking. It's not all like, this is right, this is wrong.
Yeah.
This
I
is
love
yes,
that.
this is no. That's the greatest lesson I've probably ever unlearned and relearned. And still am.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, I love that. What stresses you out the most these days?
The whole music industry. I think just having to do everything myself. I've done everything myself for like 12 years of my career.
Yeah.
And I'm tired. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what brings you instant peace?
My daughter.
Oh, how old is she?
7.
Oh, I love that.
Greatest thing that's ever happened to me.
Oh. Biggest pet peeve?
Injustice.
That's a good one. Yeah. A guilty pleasure you don't talk about?
A guilty pleasure I don't talk about. I don't really have that many guilty pleasures, if I'm being honest. And I do talk about almost everything. I'm pretty transparent. That's hard, to be honest.
Could be something really petty and small. It doesn't have to be like...
A guilty pleasure. Oh, I play Royal Match on my phone way too much. Like, when people are doom scrolling and I'm judging people for doom scrolling, I'm playing Royal Match instead. And it's just some stupid game, you know what I mean? It's not educational, it's not brain thing, nothing. It's just kind of dumb. So
we all need something like that.
And that's actually why I downloaded it. Someone told me, like, bro, you're always on the go, you're always on. You're a dad, you're a student, you're Caleb Hart. Like, bro, you need some. So I downloaded it, and now I'm like a year in, I'm like, I kind of want to delete this though.
It's getting
I could be learning, I could be fluent in Spanish at this point, you know? But,
love that.
But yeah, so that actually would be the answer for sure.
Are you an introvert or an extrovert?
I think I'm a perfectly cooked steak, like medium.
Okay, that's good.
Because I'm perceived as an extrovert for sure. But that's just because I'm extra when the time. But then I'll spend 3 or 4 days by myself in silence and be like, this is the greatest.
Oh my gosh, I know.
So I don't know. I know there's like a lot, and we always see black and white. It's not as simple as introvert extrovert.
True.
So I think that maturity allows you to present yourself in the way that is necessary in that moment.
Yeah.
And that's where.
Love that.
Yeah.
And if you could describe this season of your life in one sentence, or one word, actually one word, what would it be?
Launch.
Nice. I'm excited to see what is coming.
I know, which is crazy because at this point in my career, you think like maybe landing pad. But first of all, the music industry doesn't allow that.
No.
Also, with Sonic Alley, my new project, we just released our 3rd single, and our debut album as Sonic Alley is coming out in May.
Oh, awesome.
And whatever Caleb Hart has done, I genuinely believe Sonic Alley is going to do 100 times that.
Oh, I'm so excited.
On a scale that I didn't want or need on my own or by myself.
Yeah.
But with these boys, with my boys, it's an infiltration.
Oh, that is awesome. We are definitely going to be watching out for that. I'm very excited for that.
The album's incredible.
I know it will be.
I don't even think you can. That's how good it is.
Oh,
Like,
I
genuinely,
love that.
even
I love
people
that.
who have listened, I have 7 albums so far, 3 with Tasman Jude, 4 as Caleb Hart, and I am telling you, this Sonic Alley album is single-handedly the greatest work of music I've ever been a part of making.
That's
It's
amazing.
Absurd.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. We're even talking about it right now. I'm like,
You're getting
please,
goosebumps.
May, just get it mixed and mastered and released for heaven's sake.
Oh, I
so,
love that.
Sonic
That's
Alley's new
exciting.
album or debut album is going to be. So, launch.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm definitely going to look out for that.
Yeah.
So, and thank you so much for making the time for us.
Of course, my pleasure.
I had a really good time chatting with you.
Thank you. You as well.
I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. It's been an honor, for real.
Thanks.
Blessed.